And convicted killer Alex Murdaugh is pleading not guilty to nearly 24 federal charges.
Murdaugh appeared in court just this afternoon, about a week since he was indicted. This was in federal court, which means cameras are not allowed. Murdaugh faces 22 charges, including wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering. The indictment alleges he stole money from his clients while working as an attorney. This is Murdaugh's first time back in court since he was convicted of killing his wife Maggie and son Paul. He was given 2 life sentences and also faces about 100 charges from the state for alleged financial crimes. Last week, Murdaugh's longtime friend, Corey Fleming, who you see here, pleaded guilty to conspiring to steal money from the sons of Gloria Satterfield. She worked for the Murdaughs until she died when she fell at their home. After her death, Murdaugh told her sons to sue him and hire Fleming as their attorney so they could get money from his insurance policy. Investigators say Murdaugh and Fleming then stole millions that were meant for her sons. Fleming will be sentenced at a later date.